Hello and welcome to your practice. Today I'm going to be showing you some different variations that you can do from a pose you probably know well, child's pose. One of the variations that we'll get to will be a twist, and we'll also do some side bend stretching and some other variations for different varying levels of support. So to begin, let's just break down the foundation of child's posture. I like to start in a tabletop position and place your knees right underneath your hips, aligning your legs hip width distance apart. You can go wider from here with your knees if you like, and you can go narrower with your toes if you'd like. But some people like to stay right in that parallel alignment. And then from here, you'll just settle back and release your forehead down to the mat, or if the mat feels really far away, you can release your forehead right onto a block. If you find that your issue is with lowering your hips down to your heels, then you might want to use your block or even a bolster or a folded blanket as a little hip elevator. So take some time to set up your child's posture in a way that feels comfortable to you, with your knees and ankles in line with each other, or with your knees a little bit wider than your toes. And make sure that you can feel settled either on a prop or sitting all the way down onto your heels. And to begin, let's support the forehead either on the block or on stacked fists. And just take a few nice slow breaths right here. And now we'll start to stretch the arms out, moving into an extended child's pose. Let your forehead sink all the way down. And this is a good time to practice your Hasta Bandha or your hand lock position. So spread your fingers and feel each finger pad connecting into the earth. Feel the heels of your hands rooting down as well. Allow your elbows to lift up lightly and pull your shoulders back and down. We're going to add a little side bend stretch or some lateral flexion. So when you feel ready, begin to walk your hands off of your mat, off to one side, trying to keep your tailbone down. You'll start to feel a stretch along the side of your body, most likely. Take some nice slow breaths, breathing into that stretch. And if you feel like you need to deepen the stretch, you can take your inside hand on top of your outside hand for a little bit deeper side bend. We'll take just one more breath on the first side. And then walk right back through the center with your hands and over to the opposite side of your mat. Keep breathing, imagining that you're just sending the breath right into the side body that's stretching. And remember that if you'd like to deepen your side bend, you can stack your inside hand on top of your outside hand. When you've had enough there, come back to your extended child's posture. And then let's see how it feels to go into a little bit deeper forward flexion. We'll bring the arms alongside of the body, which is another option in child's posture. After one more deep breath, bring your hands right underneath your shoulders and slowly roll all the way up to a kneeling position. If you feel like there's a lot of extra pressure on your shins or your knees than you feel comfortable with, put a blanket underneath your legs for support because we're going to add a little flow with a twist. So, right from where you are, begin to use the strength in your legs to press all the way up to a high kneeling position, reaching your arms up and overhead, just like you would an extended mountain. And then slowly begin to lower down, either bringing your hands right under your shoulders and then crouching down into child's, or if you feel like you have the internal support to go all the way into that rounded child's pose, you can go right there. Either reach up and out and around or use your hands to press off the ground and return to that high kneeling position. And then we'll come back down again. This is really strengthening for the quadriceps and the core. Reaching and pressing up, breathe in, and controlling and lowering down, breathe out. And we'll do that 2 more times, lifting up and lowering down. Really nice lower back strength from this little flow. When you get down into your child's posture, this time just take a little break. And then from here, we're going to add the twist option or a thread the needle. So begin by bringing your hands out just in front of your shoulders. And I'll turn to the side so that you can see here. We're going to just pick up the right hand and lift the elbow up high as we get ready to thread the needle here. Then start to slide that arm right underneath the open space under your left arm, starting to feel the twist. Now, if you're starting to really feel a lot of sensation and you feel like the ground looks a bit far away, that's a good sign to get your block and have that ready just to rest your cheek and your temple right on the block. Eventually, you'll be able to slide your right shoulder underneath the left. And you can use your left hand for support. Or you can try stacking the hands in a little prayer twist option. Or maybe you feel like you can take your top arm all the way behind your back into a half bind. Sometimes when I do that option, I like to use the bottom hand instead of just laying it here on the ground as a little cup for the shoulder. So just take a few breaths here. And if you're cupping your shoulder, release it. If your hand is in that half bind, bring it down. And then slowly come back to a forward-facing position. We'll get ready to do the same thing on the other side. So place your right hand down just a little bit shorter of a distance away than you would do for extended child's pose. Give a little lift of your left elbow and then thread the needle as you revolve your spine. You can find a comfortable resting point for your forearm, or you can try bringing the hands to a prayer twist, or coming into your half bind, perhaps even cradling your right shoulder. with your left hand. When you're ready, release. Bring your right hand to the floor for support and come all the way back to your low kneeling position. From here, we're going to try to incorporate that twist into a little flow. So we'll start by lifting all the way up to high kneeling, just like we did before. Then start to lower down into a sort of one-arm tabletop position. Thread the needle and sit back into your twist. Then, on a big sweeping in-breath, reach both arms back up and overhead as you lift up. And then switch sides. Breathe in and reach up. And you can almost think of your outstretched arm as a tabletop or an extended child's posture position. Either will work. We'll do 3 more total. Reaching up and then revolving. 2 more. And maybe you even try going right into that half bind. And last time, breathing in and breathing out. We'll reach all the way up, take a deep breath in, and then slowly lower all the way down to your low kneeling position. And if you feel like you would like to continue practicing, just keep on moving from here. Maybe add some stretches for your hip flexors since we've been kind of crunched up in this practice a lot. And if you feel like you've had enough for your practice today, thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day or a good night. Namaste.